of that column. Yeah, portion of the width, right. And it doesn't represent any special value. It just means that the entire, the total value should equal to 100%. Okay. So if I change this to 10, then of course everything shifts around. Now, okay, this is 10, this is the largest one based on the entire total size. Um, and then, so if you want to have a bigger size, you go, okay, I want this to be 20, then that's the biggest one now, has the biggest size, and then width, and then, this will be the smallest column. And so this number just represents the total, average together, the total numbers there, and then it will size proportionally based on that total value. So, um, does that make sense?
Yeah, so if you set the container, that would be what portion of the container is full.
Right.
So would that be like the best way to do it?
Yeah, right. So it's the size of the container. I think it means like this is like a percentage based on the smallest size. I guess you can think of it that way. So that means that this is 20% larger than this here. This is 70% larger than the smallest size. I don't know if that makes sense, but maybe we can just
If it was 100, then 10%.
that percent. I should say times. Yeah,
Base
times.
number, wherever the total is.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So 2100, 7100.
no, not.
The total's 100.
It doesn't have to be 100 though.
I know.
Yeah, what right, the number is.
If you took the 70 and took the 0 off, you'd be at 37.
Yeah.
So the middle would be 737.
I guess you can do it that way. It's just confusing, right? But it's just that the way I look at it is that it looks at its smallest size, and then the larger one will be based on that size, how many times larger. Yes. Yeah. Then how does it default size? I'm not sure what I would say. Good question. So if this is 10, this is the smallest one, and this is 70 times bigger than this width here. And that should be the most realistic, 20 will be just twice the size of this one. So yeah, that's how we calculate it, but it's confusing. Yeah. Um, right. So the WebKit is for Chrome's only, and this Flex here is for every other browser that supports it. If it's not supported, then it's not working. Yeah, and how do we know if it works? You always go to this site here, okay, right here, caniuse.com, and if you type in Flex here, it will tell you which browser supports it. If it's green or solid green, then almost all the browsers supports the Flex. Okay, if you have, yeah, right. So it would tell you the version browser as well. So these guys here, they test this browser. So um, mhm. um, that's up to you to decide. Like, because some people are still using, for example, IE9. Okay, so if you use IE9, then you know what that is. So I mean, based on your research, only so many users use IE9. Do I care about them or not? If it's like 80% of my users are Firefox and others, but I have 10% people are using IE9. Do I support them or not? If you don't, then hey, well, you have to kind of force them to change to a upgrade to a newer version. Um, you could, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you have it somewhere. Or if you run your own site, then you will do your own analytics on those visitors to your site. Yeah. So, All right, so here is the Flexbox. Just to show you what that is, this one right here. Okay, so by default, it still retains that the flex image. Okay, as you can see, the background image still shrinks proportionally. The left column here is your navigation, your main content, and the A side. Okay, as I shrink this down, the navigation jumps to the top, the A side jumps to the bottom. Okay, it's really large. If I go a little bit smaller to the 760, the navigation is gone up here. Navigation moves to the bottom. Okay, even though in the code I coded, at the top, then my main, and the A side. That's it. So this is the normal flow of your content, your data, but with the flexible box, you can move things around. So it's at the bottom, okay, at that size. When at the 1024, it's at the top. At the maximum size, it's on the left. Yeah, right. When you set the order in here. So let's go and look at the flex box here. So these are the resolutions, the screen size 1024 and the 768, and the global or the parent or the default size up here. Okay, so if you look here, this is the default size. Okay, it says flex. It's 1, 7, and 2, right? It means that this is 1, this is 7 times of 1, and twice the size of 1, because it's the smallest one. Okay. Now, if we change this to 10, like we have up here, so the navigation is now 10 times the size of 2, and then this is 7 times the size of 2. So this has become the smallest size on the flex on the A side. If I save this, you see that this becomes really large. Okay, it takes up that much real estate just by changing that uh, size of the flex values. Okay, not only that, I can change the order of that as well. Right now, by default, the order is set to 0. Even though I don't see it there, it has the order of 0. This is a default setting. If you set the order to 0, that's the order they appear on the screen on the browser window. And because they are 0, that means that it will take the normal flow of your data. So the nav first, main, and the A side, right? That's why it's left and right, left to right. But let's say I want the A side to go to the left. That means A side should take the lowest number as the highest priority, and then the main could be my second order, so it will take the value of 1, stays in the middle, and navigation takes the third priority, it moves to the right. Okay, so if I save this and refresh, see that everything shifts around based on that order. Okay, I didn't do any other code to it. I just move it, and oh, you know what? The navigation is too small. I go back and change the size. I want this to be maybe, if you want all to be equal, you can say 1, 1, and then 1. Now they're all evenly sized. So very, very easy to manipulate this. And again, if you're going to move things around, I want the navigation to stay in the middle and the main to stay on the right. Change the order, save, and bam, you have it. Okay, so it's very, very, very flexible. That's called flex boxes. Um, this is this is full size. When I go back to my 1024, okay, the 1024, as you can see, at the 1024, right here. Okay, my navigation, oh yeah, everything still stay the same as is. When I go to 768, the order changes. The navigation becomes 1, order 1, so the other two also still stay as they were. Let's see. So order is still 0, so 1, and it will stay still the same order in this case. So if I shrink to what size is this now? 1024, 768. Okay, so the navigation is at order 1, right? And my A side was still 0. That's why the A side goes on top first. Okay, and then navigation and then the main. But if I change here and this part alone, I didn't override the main and the A side, so they still stay as they are. If I were to recode everything here, to override that, I could put both in here. And I want to arrange this so that the navigation comes first, the A side, and then the main stays at the bottom. I do that. 2 or 3 doesn't matter, as long as it's larger than the previous one. So now my navigation stays on the top, followed by A side, and then the main content at the bottom. Okay, so as you can see, if I scroll up, the navigation here, A side, and then the main content at the bottom. Okay.
You would have just made the navigation 0, not change the other two. So you have to take precedence and decrease the A side down.
You mean 0?
If you had made it 0, not having A side and then would I push it above what was there previously?
I think by default, this was, you mean the order?
Yeah.
Okay, the order was set to 0. So it's set to 0. If it's all 0, it's all 1, then the order is based on how you actually code it in the body of the text.
Previously, you coded it A, B, C,
Mhm.
and then you took C and put it above A, dropped it from would it bump out what was in that position?
Um,
So like in that example right there, if you had the inside and the main there,
okay.
would it take the nav was being
It-
now taking precedence over the A side, which wasn't?
Okay, so it doesn't have the A side and main in here, so it will grab the default, which is if you supply one up here, it will go and look for your global style sheet. If you have it, since I have it here, it will grab these. If I don't have it here either, then it will go to the default, which is 0.
By changing the nav to 0, then does that go down?
No.
It just will say, you don't have everything here, so
Yeah, it will go default, which is if it doesn't have it anywhere else, it will default to 0. And then if it's 0, then everything is rendered based on the actual position of the code. Yeah.
So you said this is going to look for the global CSS first? What did you say?
The
Then we have to have two CSSs, right? One is flexible, the other is main.
yeah. So anything here from here from the style sheet. Okay, I think here all the way down to right here before the media query here. All these are considered as a global style sheet. You can call it that because it applies to everything on the page. Okay, so if I have like the nav here and all these are applied to the page, and then in this part here, the media query here from the color braces to this color braces here, this whole thing here applies to that screen size. Everything here plus all of these on top. Okay, and if you have a duplicate selector up here inside your block here, then this will override whatever you have out here.
So it could just all be on one flex CSS.
So that's what we have the body here. Well, actually, if you look at this, the H1, it says now font size is 200%, but and the global or the default size, we also have H1 here. It's at 300%. Okay, so it's, instead of that, it's going to override this size to just 200%, and it will keep the rest. Okay, so so you can treat this as a separate style sheet. Okay, it's a separate style sheet, but it will also use